Most men crave attention from women. They chase, impress, and obsess. But the Sigma male, he doesn't chase. He walks his own path. And that's exactly why women can't stop thinking about him. Society teaches men that their worth depends on female validation. If she likes you, you matter. If she ignores you, you're nothing. But the Sigma sees through this illusion. He doesn't seek approval. He doesn't play the game. Most assume he's unlucky in love or insecure. But the truth, he ignores women not because he can't have them, but because he understands them. He sees the patterns, the mind games, the fleeting nature of attraction, and he refuses to waste his energy chasing what won't last. But why? What does he know that others don't? Let's break it down. Before we dive deep, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Your support may seem small, but it keeps us motivated to bring you more content like this. Thanks for being part of the journey. Now let's get into it. 1. He sees through the illusion. Most men live in a world of fantasy. They see a beautiful woman, and suddenly she's perfect. She's kind, she's loyal, she's different. But the Sigma? He doesn't see the dream. He sees the reality. He understands that attraction is an illusion. It's biology mixed with storytelling. A woman's beauty triggers a response in the brain, and suddenly she seems more valuable than she really is. It's not love, it's just chemicals. Most men never question this. But a Sigma? He does. He watches how people act, not what they say. He sees how easily a woman's interest shifts based on status, mood, or attention. He sees how desire is often just ego in disguise. He knows that most relationships aren't about love. They're about power, control, and validation. So when a woman flirts with him, he doesn't melt. He doesn't think, she likes me. He thinks, what does she want? And just like that, the spell is broken. This doesn't mean he hates women. He's not bitter. He's just not fooled. He won't worship someone just because she looks good. He won't chase someone who wouldn't chase him. And he definitely won't lose himself just to impress a stranger. This is why women are drawn to him. He's not desperate. He's not thirsty. He's not trying to win them over. And that kind of self-control, it's rare. It's powerful. It makes them wonder, why isn't he like other men? Because he sees the illusion for what it is. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. 2. He values freedom more than romance. For most men, love is the goal. They dream of the perfect woman, the perfect relationship, the perfect life. They want someone to complete them, someone to fill the void. A Sigma, he doesn't have that void. He doesn't see love as an achievement. He sees it as a trade. And most of the time, the trade isn't worth it. Think about it. Relationships come with rules, expectations, compromises. They demand time, attention, and energy. And for what? A little bit of comfort? A temporary feeling? Sigmas are wired differently. They don't need constant affection to feel whole. They don't crave validation. They don't fear being alone. If anything, they prefer it. Because in solitude, they have freedom. They can go where they want, think how they want, live how they want. There's no one to impress, no one to answer to, no one to distract them from their purpose. That's why when a woman comes along, he doesn't just jump in. He thinks. He calculates. He asks himself, is this worth my time? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Not because he hates women, not because he's incapable of love, but because he values something more, his own life. He sees other men sacrificing their dreams, their peace, their independence for the sake of a relationship. He sees how many of them end up drained, lost, or broken. He refuses to be one of them. This doesn't mean he's closed off. If the right person comes along, someone who respects his space, his mind, his time, he might let them in. But until then, he's not waiting. He's living, and that's what makes him different. 3. He knows that attraction fades. Most men believe that once they win a woman over, the story is complete. They assume love is a finish line, something permanent, something lasting. But the Sigma male, he knows better. He understands that attraction is temporary, that emotions shift like the wind, and that what excites someone today might bore them tomorrow. Look around. How many couples start off passionate only to end up distant? How many men give everything to a woman only to be discarded when she no longer feels the same way? The Sigma has seen it too many times. He knows that attraction isn't built on logic, it's built on feelings. And feelings are fragile. They change with time, with circumstance, with the smallest shift in energy. That's why he doesn't bother chasing. He doesn't put a woman on a pedestal thinking she'll always see him the same way. He knows that attraction is based on perception. The moment a man becomes too predictable, too available, too eager, he stops being interesting. And that's where most men fail. They think that once they have a woman's attention, they've won. But attraction isn't something you win. It's something that fluctuates. It's never permanent. So the Sigma male does the opposite of what most men do. Instead of investing his energy into temporary emotions, he invests in himself. He builds his mind, his skills, his vision. He focuses on things that won't fade with time. And that's why women can't ignore him. He isn't looking to hold on to something that's constantly shifting. He's building something real, something that lasts. 4. He understands the cost of emotional investment. Most men think relationships are all about happiness, love, and support. They imagine a world where they're accepted, understood, and appreciated. But a Sigma, he doesn't live in fantasies. He sees relationships for what they are, an exchange. And every exchange has a cost. When a man gets emotionally invested in a woman, he doesn't just give her attention, he gives her power. She becomes the center of his thoughts, the source of his happiness, the one who can either lift him up or tear him down. And for a Sigma, that kind of dependence is dangerous. He sees other men trapped in emotional chaos, overthinking texts, worrying about arguments, obsessing over whether or not she still likes them. He watches as men lose themselves in the highs and lows of relationships, becoming shadows of who they once were. That's why he refuses to play the game. Not because he doesn't feel emotions, but because he refuses to be controlled by them. For him, peace is priceless. He would rather walk alone than be dragged into unnecessary drama. He values stability over excitement, logic over impulse. And so, he ignores what other men chase, not because he's afraid of love, but because he understands the cost. And most of the time, it's just not worth it. 5. He has bigger priorities. At the end of the day, the Sigma male isn't ignoring women just to prove a point. He isn't trying to be mysterious, cold, or untouchable. He's just focused on something else, something bigger. Most men make women their mission. They shape their entire lives around finding love, getting approval, or impressing someone. Their happiness depends on whether or not they have a partner. But the Sigma, he has a different path. His purpose comes first. His mind is occupied with goals, ideas, and visions that stretch beyond relationships. He sees time as his most valuable asset, and he refuses to waste it chasing something that doesn't truly fulfill him. This doesn't mean he's incapable of love. It just means he won't sacrifice his dreams for it. If the right person fits into his life naturally, fine. But if not, he keeps moving. He doesn't chase, he doesn't beg, and he doesn't settle. Because in the end, he knows that real fulfillment doesn't come from external validation. It comes from within. And while most men are busy searching for someone to complete them, the Sigma is busy completing himself. And that's why he's different. That's why he's rare. That's why, even when he ignores women, he never goes unnoticed. Most men chase women seeking validation. But the Sigma male, he doesn't play that game. He knows attraction fades, emotions shift, and relationships come with a cost. His purpose comes first. His freedom matters more. That's why he ignores women, not out of bitterness, but because he refuses to be controlled by temporary feelings. And ironically, that's what makes him so desirable. What do you think? Does ignoring women make a Sigma stronger, or just more alone? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this resonated with you, like the video and subscribe for more. See you next time.